In the spring of 2018, 6,901 immigrants applied for asylum in the U.S. One such individual who is hoping to gain asylum status is now here in the Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church, taking sanctuary as ICE calls for her deportation. María Chavalan Sut, a native of Guatemala's Cachiquel community, has spent her whole life being persecuted over her indigenous heritage. In 2015, she was forced to flee Guatemala after her home was set on fire while she and her family were still inside. María made the dangerous trek to the U.S. and applied for asylum legally, claiming she faced persecution or death if she would remain in her home country. She was granted stay until her court date. However, instead of the opportunity to present her case, she was tried in absentia and given an order of deportation.
And so they gave me until the 30th of September to leave. So they told me if you don't go by your own accord, they are going to remove you forcefully.
María claims she was unaware of her scheduled court appearance because ICE failed to notify her.
I was at the detention center in Texas. I asked them when would be my court date to appear in court. They told me that they didn't have one yet, but that they were going to let me know.
According to her attorney, Alina Kilpatrick, Maria's case is just one of thousands where ICE has neglected to put the date and time on a notice to appear.
For the last decade, ICE has been issuing notices to appear without any of that information. So all they read to the immigrants in Spanish is, your court date will be determined.
This systematic failure victimizes individuals who are in dire need of protection. In many cases, such as Maria's, sending these asylum seekers back home is a death sentence. María is now one of 50 immigrants taking sanctuary in the U.S. This protection is possible due to the 2011 policy known as the Morton Memo, in which ICE members are discouraged from entering into sensitive locations, such as areas of worship, schools, or hospitals. On September 29th, lead pastor Wesley, Isaac Collins, received a phone call asking if the church would be interested in offering sanctuary. Given the stakes of the case, Collins knew they had to protect her.
For them, it's a life or death situation. It's not like, well, I could go home, but things won't be great. No, it's that if I go home, I'll be killed.
Back in Guatemala, María taught math to underprivileged children. But now her days are filled with cooking and selling custom-made bags to send money back to her family. The reaction to Maria's stay has been positive, with members of the community even creating Facebook pages and fundraisers to garner more support for María. But to anyone who does object, Collins reverts back to the fact that what they're doing is completely legal.
She was undocumented, but she was here legally. She followed the legal means to be in the country. So the question of legality here is really around the government's role in Maria's story and not hers.
Across the street, UVA students walk freely to class, not knowing that there's a refugee being protected inside the church. María is currently trying to reopen her case, arguing lack of notice. The timeline for this is unknown. However, Wesley's determined to offer her protection until the legal system grants her freedom.